Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. As promised, we're going to be doing another money manager app tutorial, but not the 40-minute long one like I did 2 years ago. If it's your first time using this app and you want to set it up as I'm going along with you, you will have to just watch that video. I'll link it below. But for today, what we're actually going to do is a practical tutorial where I'm going to be showing you how to set up a 50-30-20 budget. If you're not sure what that is, I also have a video where I discuss budgeting methods, and this is where I got the idea from, where I thought it might be easier and better for people to see how customizable and how practical these apps are if actual budgets are created in them as opposed to just having the tutorial. So I hope that you'll let me know if this is good, or you like the way of doing videos this way, where I'm showcasing how to set up certain budgets, or if you just prefer the regular A to Z tutorial, you can let me know in the comments. So without further ado, we're going to hop right in. On your app, this is what it looks like. Then we're going to just go down to where it says more. And these are your options. We're going to go into configurations. When we're here, we're going to immediately go down to the expense settings. And this is what you see. We have the ones that were there by default. Also, we have our subcategories turned on. This is important as we need to create our subcategories for our needs, our wants, and our savings. So we're going to go to the plus to add our first expense category, which will be needs, save, again, plus, wants, save, and one more time, plus, saving. And when we scroll all the way down, we will see the 3 accounts that we created right here. If you want to delete them, remember, just press the minus, edit, and move them up and down. Now that we're done here, we're just going to go back, and I just want to pop into these just to make sure that there are actually accounts there and income. Perfect. So now that we set up our needs, wants, and savings, we're going to go down to budget settings so that we can create our 50-30-20 budget. To do this, we're just going to press the plus button, and this is where we can start creating our budget. All of our categories are down here, so we just need to scroll down all the way to the needs, and we're just assuming that the amount that we have to budget with is $3,000 a month. So $1,500 of that will go towards the needs. Add again, scroll down, wants, $900, save, add again, scroll down, savings, $600, save. So now over here we see our total amounts for each of these categories. Now, if you wanted to keep it simple and just put all of your transactions for your needs in this section and your wants and your savings in this section, you can do that. But we're going to take it to another level and create subcategories for each of these expense categories. So because we want to be more detailed, this is what we're going to do. Then we're going to go back, and we're going to go back to our expense category settings. And we're going to click on the needs category. And right here in the corner, you can edit or you can add. We're going to press the plus button so we can get our subcategory. So for our needs, let's put our rent in there. And it shows up as a subcategory under the needs. And when you go back, you actually see it here under the needs as well. So I'm going to create some and I'm going to come back. These are some of the example categories that I put under needs. We go back, we see all of them here. Next, we're going to do our wants. So the same thing applies. We press on the wants and the plus sign is in the corner. Plus, let's do subscriptions. And again, I'll come back after I add more. And these are some of the categories that I came up for under wants. We go back, again, we see it is all in that area. Now the last one will be savings. We press on it, again, plus in the corner. We press the plus and we do retirement. Plus again, we do our investments. And I'm going to come back after putting some more. And these are the categories that I added for savings. You're going to see debt plus here. I know I put debt under needs, but the debt under the needs is for like the bare minimum payment that you can make on your debt, and anything that's above that I put under savings. And if we go back, we see it is all down there for us. So now what happens when we go and we try to budget more specifically for these subcategories? We go back and we go down to the budget settings down here and we see our needs, wants, and savings. When we click on it, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back. We actually want to press the plus button, which will take us back to this page like we did before. But when we scroll down and we go to our needs, we see a little arrow. And when we press on needs, on this side, all of the needs that we just created appear. So we can set a budget for each one of these subcategories. If I choose rent and I say that my rent is, let's say, $1,000, and I press save, now we see our same categories here, but under needs, we see that there's a little arrow. When we press there, it shows the breakdown of this. It's not adding the 1,000 to the 1,500. This is the total for our category, and this is a portion of that subtotal for that category. So if I were to continue to add under my needs, then this is what it would look like. We'd have our total of here, and then our breakdown of that total right over here. I'm going to do the same for the wants and the savings, and then we're going to come back. We're going to plug in some transactions. Okay, so now that I've entered all of the other budgeting items, this is what it looks like. The needs we went through already. The wants, it was a lot of money to budget, but I did it just for the sake of this example and this tutorial. And the savings fit in perfectly with each category for $100. So now that we're done budgeting, we want to go to the transaction page so that we can start entering transactions and seeing what effect it has on our budget. So we press transaction. Here we are. We have nothing in there. Let's start adding some transactions. Now you can add transactions by pressing this plus button down here, which will take you to the transaction page, and this is what it looks like. You have the type of transaction that it is at the top here, the date, the time, the account that you're going to choose from down here, the category that you're going to choose also, which will populate over here, the amount, and if you want to add a note, a description, or a picture of like a receipt or something. So before we entered expenses, any expenses, we're going to go to income because we got to have some money. Let's choose our checking one category. Let's say it's our salary from our job. And it's the first $1,500 that's coming. I'm not going to put description, just save. And then we see over here that it shows that it's today. I actually don't want it to show as today. I'm going to just edit the date and make it the first for argument's sake. And there we go. We're going to press the plus again. I want to add some more income, but make it on the 15th in our checking. With a job, another $1,500, save. And it populates down here with the oldest transaction first and the newest transaction close to the top. I actually wanted to do plus. I choose my account checking. Oh, the income, the account checking, the job, the amount. When the amount pops up over here, there's US and just dollars. Because I had set up my secondary currency as the US dollar, I can choose US if it's going to be in US dollars, and it'll show me over here. But we're working with Canadian dollars right now, at least I am. And so I'm going to keep it that way. Now we're going to enter some expenses. Plus, we're already on expense by default. Let's do the first of the month. That is when the rent is due. So from the checking, we're going to choose the category of needs, rent, and how much do we say it was? $1,000. Save. And then you're going to see it populate here. If there's more than one transaction under the same date, it will populate in the same area. Let's do another one, plus another expense from the checking account. The category, let's say it's the wants, and the subscriptions, part of it came out, so $25. We add it, the date. And let's say it came out on the 10th. Let's say it came out on the 10th. And we're going to save. Sorry, before, what happened was I clicked on the date. If you want to enter a transaction also in the same date, you don't have to press the plus. You could just click on the date. But I actually meant to click on the transaction to edit it. So if we have another transaction for the 15th, for example, if I press the 15th, it will automatically go to that date. I don't need to consider about the time. You could probably change that as well, but it doesn't really matter. But that's just another little trick if you wanted to know how to utilize this app to its fullest potential. All right, let's do savings. And let's say we put away for our emergency fund. We put $50 on the 15th when we got paid, and we save. So again, it is populated here. Now, before I go off camera to record the other transactions, I just wanted to show you up here, you have other ways that you can view your transactions at the top here. If we do calendar, it actually shows you each day what came in and what went out, any of your transactions on that date. And you can click on it and see the actual transaction. So that's pretty cool. If you check out the monthly section, it shows you for the month with all the dates. With all the dates here, we don't have any transactions for the past month, so they're empty. But you can click on that and it'll take you back to the daily page. For the total, this is just the budget page. So this is the budget that we created over here for the total budget and our categories and our subcategories. So you can really see the picture of everything that we've done so far. So take a look at it, because when I go and fill it in, I don't think I'm going to fill it in to make the whole budget done, just so we can, I'm not going to spend all of the budget in this video, just so that we can see what the graphs, and the charts look like when we have it partially filled. So I'm going to do that now. And when I enter the transactions, this is what it looks like. It shows a total budget here and how much I entered and how much is left. It also shows up here the income that I entered and the expenses and what I have left. So you're seeing it two ways. Also, you have the breakdown based on the categories of how much was spent versus how much is left. And if you want to look in detail to see each subcategory, you just press a little arrow going down here and it shows you everything that you have entered, just kind of, just what was entered, what you spent, and what was left on this nice little bar graph. And that's for each of the categories. It does that. If you go to the bottom over here, it shows your accounts. So it's just showing the activity, and the expenses, which is under cash and bank accounts. That's where you can see I entered all of the transactions. But had I paid anything with my credit card, I would have probably entered it under the card, and it would show over here. And if I did any transfers between my bank accounts or cash, it would show right over here. I'm going to show you how you could find your graphs, and that's going to be by pressing in this area of the page, and it could be for any of these. So I'm in needs. I'm going to press on gas, and it's going to show me the graph. Now, if you have previous transactions for this category, this subcategory, they'll populate over here. But because I only have the one, it's just a lonely one right there. And down here as well, it's giving me the details of this transaction, which I could click on and edit if I need to. Also, if you press the arrow over here in the corner, you can go to the needs or to any specific subcategory that you want to go to. So that's one way of looking at the graphs. Another way would be to just go to stats down here at the bottom. So stats says no data because I'm there, but October, this is how the page is set up. You have your expenses and your income. Here you can choose how you want to view that data, and here is where you have your date. Down here we have our categories that we created: our needs, our wants, and our savings. So if you want to change how you view it for monthly, you press over there. You can view it weekly. You could view it monthly. You could view it annually, which will probably be the same because we have no data. Or you can choose a period that you want to see. I'm going to put it for monthly. When you press on any part of the graph, it will separate and it will show you how much you spent. So I could press the savings. We did 190 in savings. In the wants, we did 320. And for the needs, we did 1260, which is also reflected down here. But I actually want to also show you for the income. We have one source of income, so it is a salary, which shows over here and over here. If we press on the salary, again, it's lonely because I only recorded one, but it would show you how it goes, if it fluctuates. If you have a salary that fluctuates, it will show how it fluctuates over time, and it gives you that interesting data with the information down here also on the dates that you entered for this month. And again, if you press on this area, you have the option to edit or delete or whatever you need to do for that information. So let's go back to the expenses, press on the needs. Here, the same way it shows for the income, it's going to show for the expenses. This is what we spent. This is the breakdown of what we spent, the percentage of the total amount that we spent. And again, the little graph. Scroll down some more. We have our transactions down here, which again, you click on to edit or do whatever you have to do with them. Also, by pressing any one of these, it will change the graph and show you how much you're spending in these different categories. Again, it'll give you more information. Obviously, the more information that you actually have in the graph, but this is an interesting thing that they have here where they show you for each category a comparison of how much you're spending. So if we go back, then it just does the same thing for each of the other categories that you have also. So this is the end of this tutorial. This is how you would set up and put your transactions in for your 50, 30, 20 budget. If this tutorial was helpful, drop a comment, share it with somebody you think might need this tutorial, and hit subscribe because there's more like this coming your way. If you have any questions, also, I do read the comments. I'm pretty active in the comments. If I can't make a video for whatever reason, I will respond to your question if I know how to do what you're asking in the comments. Your feedback is very important to me. If this is a video, if this is something that you like to see with other apps going forward, also let me know and I will see if I can do that for you. So thank you and catch you in the next one. Bye.